Netball League. Today's clash is between the fourth placed Wangaratta Magpies playing host to the now second placed Yarrawonga Pigeons. Both teams coming off big wins in round 17. Joining me today in commentary is Tamara Matthews. Tam, how is it that we are already at round 18 of a home and away season?
I know, isn't it crazy? We've blinked and missed it, it's almost felt like. But you know what? It is so exciting that we actually get to finals. It's been a long time coming, and I'm sure everyone that's been involved is just happy to be here today, getting to round 18 and looking forward to next week.
And what a perler of a day. This tells us that finals is just around the corner. I'm thankful that I'm not taking the court because in the message to the coaches of both teams last night, I said I hope both teams are a little bit hydrated. But we'd like to begin today by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we broadcast from today, the Yorta people, and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging, and extend this respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples here today and those that tune in at any time. Although we're really looking forward to today's clash, let's revisit a few results from round 17, starting with today's host team, Wang Magpies, beating Lavington 42-39.
It was a great result for Wangaratta, I think. They've been really inconsistent this year, and I think that's just been them adjusting to a really new-look side. You know, they were a very stable side for a long time, and we obviously had that couple of years break, and so it's taken them a bit to get back to a place where they can challenge these top sides, and they've had two really good wins over Lavington, so clearly they're a side they match up well against, and I think it's great for them coming into this game and into finals that they've had that win.
And in those awful conditions, I had a look at the quarter time stats throughout the game, and the last quarter was only 9 goals to 7, so really defensive. I think that's when Lavington would have copped a little bit of a rain dumping as well, sometime in that last quarter. But both Georgia Clark and Emily Stewart, goal shooter, goal attack for their respective teams, were named best on, so obviously great for them. Yarrawonga Pigeons, our other team today, 52, a very comprehensive win over probably a poor display by the Albury Tigers on 27. Comprehensive win in those off and on rainy conditions, and at times the game looked quite clinical.
I think it just showed us, you know, how strong Yarrawonga are, the depth that they have, and the skill level that they can show in those kind of conditions. And Albury, yes, were absolutely disappointed with their showing, and they can certainly do better, and they would know that and be working on that. But I think it showed us probably more about Yarrawonga than it did Albury.
Absolutely, and I think the Albury girls said that they wouldn't be putting too much on their performance because they knew that it wasn't their best. North Albury keeping their finals dreams alive with an 8-goal win over the Wangaratta Rovers, who, credit to Rovers, continually came back. They won the third quarter 12-7 to only be trailing by 3 going into that last quarter. But Em Brown obviously rallied the troops and they got over the line.
Yeah, she was named the most valuable player last week for North Albury, and as you said, they're just keeping their hopes alive, and it's ironic today that the team they beat in Rovers are the team that potentially can put Albury out. So Albury today, a must-win game over Rovers. We know Albury aren't at full strength. Rovers are obviously playing some good netball, and they've changed things up a bit. Looking at their score sheets, Kelsey Wilson swung back into defence at times for them because they're now missing Sammy Kreltzheim. So Andrea Ubergang's coming up from B, and she's putting up huge numbers in B grade. So she's obviously a great inclusion. So, you know, it's fantastic for our competition that the final 5 rests on some results today, I think.
Absolutely. And then just finishing off those scores, Coral Rutherglen 61 over Wodonga 20. The Raiders 48 defeated Myrtleford, and they actually could sneak into 6th spot today. So the top 6 isn't defined, with Taylor Donlan notching up 30 goals. So I think for the Raiders, just not consistent enough for this season, and they will look to season 2023, and that brings us to the current ladder standing. So Coral Rutherglen currently in first on 60 points, 15 wins, 2 losses. Yarrawonga and Lavington sitting on equal second. Yarrawonga slightly ahead of Lavington on percentage, both on the 56 with the 3 losses. And interestingly, Yarrawonga has exactly the same goals for as Corowa, and just a marginally different defence. So that top 3 is exceptional.
It is a phenomenal top 3, and I think 3 clubs, you know, and really even 4 if you bring Wang into that mix, who have been really at the top in the A-grade competition for quite a long time now. You take out those COVID years, but in those seasons prior to that, you know, those 4 sides really have been the benchmark for quite some time, and there's really nothing between them, I don't think. Ladder standings, I don't think are going to make going to mean anything next week. And I think it's great that all of those sides really are in a position where they can take it up to each other.
And Wang Magpies, as you mentioned, sitting in fourth, will go into their team list in a moment. But the interesting one is this fifth place Albury Tigers. They just need to get over the line against Wang. They're missing a couple of personnel, so they've brought in some of their youth. Kajana McCowan, she was a star a couple of weeks ago in that comeback to only go down by Lavington by the 1 goal. Lily Howe coming up from B grade. She can be swung in goalkeeper, goal shooter. So they'll be looking to her, and I think Sky Hillier she'll take a 1 goal win just to hit that last final spot.
I think they'll be very hungry. You know, last year, whilst we didn't get to a finals competition, Albury had to win that last game if there was going to be a finals, and they were going to play in it, and they didn't. And I think, you know, for those that were involved last year, they will remember that. And the ball's in their court, so to speak. You know, their destiny's in their own hands, and they really, if they want to play finals, they have to prove that they're good enough, and they have to get over Rovers today, and they have to do it without those players missing, because finals, you don't know what's going to happen. The girls that are coming in, Kajana McCowan and Alice Carroll, these kids don't know the girls they're playing against, and that's the beauty. They just go and play, and they're instinctive, and it's really exciting to watch.
And North Albury too, they're coming up against the Bulldogs. They just need to have a win and let the cards lie, as they say. So it will be really interesting, and we won't be able to give any score updates on those because those games won't commence until 2 o'clock. So Wangaratta Magpies won't find out their fate of who they will be versing in that elimination final until a little bit later on today. Speaking of the Wangaratta Magpies, let's have a look at the Insight Injury Clinic team cards. Wangaratta Magpies are their co-coaches in Hannah Grady and Shay Crimmins. Lining up in goal shooter will be Georgia Clark, joined by Amy Byrne in goal attack, Shay Crimmins in wing attack, Izzy Byrne in centre, Leah Genvy in wing defence, Hannah Grady in goal defence, and Katie Dean in goalkeeper, with an interchange bench of Olivia Richards, Rochelle Petts, Jess Henry, Tessa Clayton, and Ebony Norris. A very standard starting 7 for the Wang Magpies today, Tam.
It is. We've started to see this team really come together. They've also been using Liv Richards off the bench. She's named on the interchange today, and she's come on the last few games, and she's a really fantastic defender for them. And I think a great option, and I think it's really good that they've been using her. Katie Dean and Hannah Grady had a few injury concerns a little while ago, so it was a good opportunity to bring her in. I think it just gives them some depth going into finals that perhaps they didn't have before. We know Rochelle Petts can come in. She's played quite a bit of A-grade this year in that shooting role, and she can swing to a wing as well. So I think they're giving themselves some options. But yes, they're going to have to work hard today.
And we've spoken on countless occasions about the speed of this mid-court. Izzy Byrne and Shay Crimmins, joined by Leah Genvy in that wing defence, who she can easily swing into centre or wing attack if need, but her elevation in that wing defence position will be really vital against her comrade in today in Tilly Kennedy. So speaking of Tilly, let's have a look at the Yarrawonga Pigeons. Again, a co-coach situation there with Bridget Cassar and Laura Irvine. Starting in goal shooter will be Bridget Cassar, goal attack Sarah Moore, wing attack Tilly Kennedy, centre Laura Irvine, wing defence Laura Ryan, goal defence Kylie Leslie, and goalkeeper Liv Lovell. On their interchange bench, Maddie Allen and Myla Kennedy, who is the sister of Tilly Kennedy. So really nice under-17s player, up and coming, obviously doing the work in the under-17s to earn that spot on this interchange bench today.
Yes, she took the court a few weeks ago for them against Myrtleford in her A-grade debut, and really special that she can do that with her sister, and great that they are in a position that they're able to give some of these young girls that opportunity in games like today.
And this lineup for both teams, lots of these players have played a lot of netball against each other, but a lot of them have played interleague together as well. So one of the key matchups for me will be in that centre, Izzy Byrne and Laura Irvine, both probably equally as fit as one another. They both are as hungry as one another. And I guess it'll be who can really provide that steady head and constant just connection between their defence to attack.
You're right. I think that is one of the key matchups. But, you know, they're right across the court, aren't they, when you look at these two sides against each other? They're almost going to nullify each other, those two centres. And I think it is going to be the team who can, when they get it to their goal edge, can obviously get it to their shooters cleanly and convert. We know the strength of both the defenders at either end, and we know that neither team is going to give them a second chance, and that they can both move that ball incredibly quickly down the other end. So it's really it is a matter of working it to circle edge, not forcing balls and giving the shooters every opportunity to put their shots up where they're most comfortable. And I think the team that does that, obviously the best, is going to win, but there's going to be some fantastic matchups. Hannah Grady on a Sarah Moore. I mean, these girls have played together for Ovens and Murray, but have played against each other for quite a long time now. They must know each other inside out. But, it just makes for a fantastic matchup. And, I think the other thing too you look at is the Wang defence. Whilst they're not as tall as some of the other defenders, the connection that Hannah Grady and Katie Dean have is really outstanding to watch, and they just know where each other are. Their communication is phenomenal, and they really make up for probably the lack of height that they compared to some other teams, if you like.
If you have just joined us, we are at the 4th place Wangaratta Magpies, playing host to the Yarrawonga Pigeons, sitting comfortably in 2nd position. The teams have had a very intense warm-up. That's probably one of the most intense warm-ups I've seen. It's really starting to feel like finals. So, Tam, your tip for today?
Oh, I think it's going to go down to the wire. I'm going to say Yarrawonga by 2.
I was going to say the same, so I can't do that. Oh, look, I'm going to flip. I'm going to go Wang by 1. And you never know, we could have a draw.
We could. Wouldn't that make for an interesting last game?
But I'm going to go Wang by 1 because you stole mine. So not too long to go here before our first whistle. The umpires getting ready as well. Tam, with the hot shots, who's currently leading that?
So Georgia Clark's sitting on top, and she's been there very consistently now for quite some time. Bridge Casa is not far behind her, so it is tight at the top there, but credit to Georgia. She's really been very consistent for the Wangaratta Magpies, particularly in the back half of the season. Once they've sort of maintained that consistency through their GA position, Georgia's been able to sit back and goal shooter, and she's such a phenomenal athlete, the way she moves. The Yarrawonga defenders are really going to have their work cut out for them today, because she provides lots of options in lots of different ways in the way that she presents. So,
as we see the players take the court here for this first quarter, O&M Netball is being brought to you by McRae Motors. Our first quarter sponsor is Cavalier Homes. The umpires just delivering this ball to the team that has the first centre pass, which is the visitors in the Yarrawonga Pigeons, with Coach Laura Irvine taking this first centre pass.
So Yarrawonga with the first centre, off to Sarah Moore on the transverse, but she throws the ball away, lobbing it from there, and that's a coach killer if ever there's one. And Wangaratta will move it very quickly down to their goal third. So a turnover already.
Shay Crimmins just on the top of the circle there. Refeeds to Byrne. A late inclusion into this Wangaratta Magpies squad as the season's gone on, and she's been instrumental as we see Georgia Clark taking the first goal here for the Magpies off the Yarrawonga Pigeons centre pass. So Izzy Byrne with the centre now for Magpies, and Laura Irvine going for a spectacular pass there, but it still maintains the possession of Magpies and a footwork call. So Liv Lovell, her first touch of the game here. She's looking, gets it to Leslie, on to Ryan. They're stuck quite tight to this near sideline. Tilly Kennedy looking to open the ball up, and the Pigeons now on the attack. In the hands of Moore, in the pocket to Kennedy. Balks the ball, but a hand by Katie Dean, and that's what this defensive duo can do. They'll just be relentless and get those couple of little touches.
Yeah, and the way they come off the body, they set up strong on the body, but they're able to move off quickly, get to some high balls, but they're fantastic at getting to the low balls too. So Wangaratta through Leah Genvy, drive it through the midcourt. Hannah Grady on the run finds Izzy Byrne at the top. Shay Crimmins with a great drive onto the circle, and they have the opportunity to feed it. And Georgia Clark's drawn a penalty under the post for Wangaratta and puts that one away. So Wangaratta moved to a 2-goal to 0 lead against Yarrawonga. Oh no, 1-0.
Pigeons, Casa to Irvine. Defence there from Byrne, just trying to get a little hand on the ball. But Casa with her first shot and Yarrawonga's first goal for the game. So the Wangaratta Magpies with the slight lead here, 2-1 on the 777 automotive scoreboard.
And we're already seeing great defensive pressure by both teams, hands up over everything. And I expect that this should continue right through the game.
Byrne opts for the refeed. Kylie Leslie doing her best to get around and has drawn the mislaid ball there. So Liv Lovell opts for the bounce pass to Ryan, and the Pigeons 3 passes and they're halfway down. Sarah Moore with the drive straight up the guts of the court. That's what we like to see, and I think we'll see that with this Pigeons attack, and they'll look to bring that ball into that centre corridor to then give them the space deep. And Bridget Casa just a toe over the line there. So the Magpies, can they reply and go end to end here? Genvi deep in the pocket, gives off to Byrne. A little bit too close from Irvine. I think hands first was the call there. So Katie Dean gives to Genvi. The ball's brought back due to an obstruction call. Genvi to Grady, who's great bringing this ball down the court. And well done to Hannah. She was off balance there and managed to give a steady ball away. Byrne opts for the refeed again, and the lob's gone in deep to Georgia Clark, who is flirting with that baseline but stays in. So another goal for her. So we've got a 2-goal lead here to the Magpies, 3 goals to 1 on the 777 automotive scoreboard.
And Yarrawonga have the ball, and Tilly Kennedy is being very heavily defended by Leah Genvi. That is going to be a match-up to watch. So Yarrawonga having to find other options off the line. They've worked it to circle edge. Sarah Moore has the ball, but a penalty has been drawn at the top of the circle. So Irvine gives it to Sarah Moore, who is at the top, and they look for the little pass over to Bridget Casa, who has it under the post. That will be on today, but Hannah Grady and Katie Dean will be very familiar with that play too, so there's going to have to be times where they pick and choose that. Wangaratta centre, but they've gone untouched over the third, and so Yarrawonga get the opportunity to turn it back.
Another coach killer on your own centre pass, if ever there was one. We've nearly played 4 minutes here on the Jacob Toyota used cars, and a great lob pass in there to Sarah Moore, her first goal of this first quarter. Yarrawonga and Wangaratta Magpies are even, 3 goals apiece here on the 777 automotive scoreboard.
And Wangaratta will run it. And we can just see here Yarrawonga have held them up, and this is what they need to do. We know the strength of Hannah Grady on the outlet ball, just like Laura Ryan will do for Yarrawonga, and you can see there she got stuck. Wang found it hard to get it to someone.
And credit to Liv Lovell too. She had the eyes there. Laura Ryan went and Liv Lovell was going for the same ball as well, but just the touch of hands as well. Great defensive pressure and just forcing the Magpies to have to look for another option. And we see the long bomb going in. Great touch by the defenders of the Pigeons. So Shay Crimmins on the far side of the netball court gives off to Byrne, to sister Izzy Byrne, and a nice drop pass there into Georgia Clark, who nets a beautiful goal, quite long range. That's her 4th goal. 4 goals, leading Yarrawonga 3 on the 777 automotive scoreboard.
So great cover there by Kylie Leslie to cover Shay Crimmins, but Shay has driven further up the court to receive. So Wang are getting a bit stuck here on the transverse and just having to be patient and wait for opportunities to open up. They've reset to the line to Genvi. Izzy Burns working hard on the circle. They find Amy, and again, she's not within distance, so they've had to refeed, and she's finally found George. Went to find Georgia under the post, and they've drawn the penalty shot. So Georgia Clark will have an opportunity to score for Wangaratta, and she does. So Wangaratta go 5 goals to 3 on the 777 automotive scoreboard. In the hands of Irvine to Moore. Tilly Kennedy, great use of her body there to keep Leah Genvi in front of her, so she had all the space in the pocket. Casa opts to pass to Moore, who puts up her first goal of this first quarter, thanks to Cavalier Holmes. We've played about 6 minutes and the lob goes in and just into the hands of Clark, who finishes with a goal. So the Magpies here increase their lead. They're out by 2, 6 goals to 4 on the 777 automotive scoreboard. And Bridget Castor in the pocket. She feeds it back out to Irvine, who finds Castor again, and she's going to step in and have a shot and puts it away for Yarrawonga. So they stay in touch. They're 5 goals, leading Wangaratta 6 on the 777 automotive scoreboard, with a Wangaratta centre. And it's Byrne to Byrne on the line, and back to Byrne and back to Byrne again. The two sisters finding each other. And again, we can see the defensive efforts here of Yarrawonga just holding up Wangaratta, forcing them to take as many passes as they can. And Shay Crimmins with a beautiful bullet pass to Amy Byrne on the side, on the baseline. She puts it away for Wangaratta. So they move to 7 goals to 5 on the 777 automotive scoreboard. Probably not the pass option. What I was going to say then, Amy Byrne did a great job in that attacking end. Georgia Clark actually brought Liv Lovell right up to the top, so it opened that base drive for Amy Byrne. So the Pigeons here looking to reply, and both shooters deep on the baseline with no defence there, and Sanini makes light work of that one. So both shooters for the Pigeons
taking 3 goals apiece here to bring them to 6, with the Magpies with the slight lead, 7 on the 777 automotive scoreboard.
And here's Wang again, just trying to find space on that circle. Izzy Byrne, the give and go, she's deadly on that. Once she's on the circle, she's hard to stop the feed in. And she goes to go over to Georgia Clark, and they're just not going to be on today. They're going to have to be just a little bit more patient, I think, with those feeds.
And Liv Lovell doing the great work there to not draw the contact. She just tapped it from straight behind. We've got Tilly Kennedy offloading to Irvine and into Casa. Textbook play from the Pigeons. And Casa, the ball dribbles out.
Casa and Sanini are fighting over it, but goes out to Kennedy, who
regained possession.
Finally gets it into Casa, and she's going to have a shot on the post. Oh, almost a rejection on the shot, but the umpires called it back. Puts it away that time. So Yarrawonga moved to a 7 goals, and Wangaratta on 7 goals here on the 777 automotive scoreboard. And a long bomb from Sarah Moore off the transverse finds Bridget Casa under the post for a very quick and easy goal. And they're nice, those ones, every now and then, just to give everyone a breathing
when they
space.
come off, and if anyone, Sarah Moore's the one to deliver that ball. But we've got Izzy Byrne for the Magpies. Gives off to coach, or co-coach, should I say, in Hannah Grady to Clark. She's come out of the circle, so that leaves a 2-on-1 defensively with the Pigeons and Byrne, and the Magpies have just spilled the ball. Pigeons here have slowed it down after a really quick transition. The ball shot back to the transverse line. However, a contact call in this goal third. So co-coach Laura Irvine gives off to Tilly Kennedy, who finds a great base drive by Bridget Casa, putting up another goal here for the Yarrawonga Pigeons. So the Yarrawonga Pigeons are 9, leading the home team 7 on the 777 automotive scoreboard.
And Sarah Moore with the shot well within her shooting range, and she puts that away for Yarrawonga. So they'll go to 10 goals, and with a Magpie centre. So Izzy Byrne finds Amy off the line. It's just here that they're getting held up. The pass to Shay Crimmins goes a little bit wild, and it's a turnover on the sideline. So Yarrawonga get another opportunity to take it down, and this is where the hard work for Wang begins, because that outlet pass we saw there to Laura Ryan does so much damage when they can move it so quickly.
And they can really expose that height mismatch to Laura Ryan with Shay Crimmins. Though Shay will run with her, they can just pop the ball up that extra bit. And the Wang Magpies, they've replied. They've spilled the ball out of the Yarrawonga possession. So they look to go on the attack, and Byrne to Crimmins to Genvi. Those 3 can just provide so much speed, and great work from the Magpies, bringing it into this centre channel. Crimmins, she's off the circle edge, so she won't feed from there. Gives to Byrne deep in the pocket. Off to sister Amy Byrne, coming out right at the top of the circle. Crimmins gets the contact call on Ryan, and that opens up the space for her to give the ball clearly into Georgia Clark. And a little contact call from Liv Lovell, and Georgia Clark nets another one. So the score is reading 8 goals to the Wangaratta Magpies, trailing the Yarrawonga Pigeons 10 here on the 777 automotive scoreboard. Less than 5 minutes to play in this first quarter, and the Pigeons have replied, and quickly, with Casa notching her 7th goal of this first quarter.
So Wangaratta have it again in their attack off their centre, and much cleaner that time. They find Amy Byrne on the baseline. Unfortunately, a shot doesn't fall, but Georgia Clark's at the back to mop it up. But they're found off the circle again. So again, they have to work it in under, but this time they can find Georgia a bit quicker, and she puts the ball away for Wang Magpies. So they go to 9 goals, Yarrawonga on 11. And Yarrawonga off the line again to Tilly Kennedy. So strong off that line. They found Laura Irvine on the circle. So this is where Yarrawonga have been moving it very well.
Hard work by Katie Dean to try and keep Bridget Casa nice and high on that circle edge. She's managed to roll back into that comfortable shooting range for her, and netting another one. So 12 goals here to the Pigeons. The home team trailing on 9 on the 777 automotive scoreboard. About 3.5 minutes still to play on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock.
We can see the rotation that's having to happen with Georgia Clark and Amy Byrne. They're heavily defending Georgia Clark, and Amy Byrne probably needs to keep presenting and be that refeed option just for an extra pass or two to try and draw a defender either off Georgia or work herself in under the post a little bit closer.
And a short shot from Georgia Clark then. It hit the front of the ring, and I think she knew that that one wasn't going in as soon as it was. So the Pigeons, with the defensive effort here, have turned the ball over again. Leslie onto Laura Clark. They're so good at transitioning the ball, those two. Laura Ryan giving off to Irvine. To Casa, finding Grady with her eyes down, just delivering that ball over to Sarah Moore, who
the long ball
just turns and shoots. So 13 goals to the Pigeons, 9 goals to the Wang Magpies on the 777 Automotive scoreboard. Our first quarter action is being brought to you by Cavalier Homes. Irvine to Moore. Casa trying to use the baseline and drawing the obstruction call from Genvi. So Irvine edges closer to that circle edge to feed into Casa. An obstruction call over the shot has Hannah Grady out of Bridget Cassa's way, and she nails another goal for the Pigeons.
So Wangaratta with the centre pass, and Kylie Leslie just attempting to intercept there and gives away the penalty. So Leah Genvi with the ball. And they have to go sideways to Hannah Grady before they can go down, but they find Amy Byrne, and she needs to have a shot at this one. She passes off to Georgia under the post, and she does draw the contact. It looked like she was going to fall out of court, but she puts the ball up and keeps Wangaratta in it with another goal. So they move to 10 goals, Yarrawonga on 14, and it's a Yarrawonga centre.
Interestingly, when Kylie Leslie was out of play there, Amy Byrne actually had that whole circle to herself, and I'm not sure if the hands over pressure of the Pigeons forced Izzy Byrne to not be able to see that, or if she chose not to, because they are those percentage passes. But there was a lot of space in that circle then. So Irvine here into Casa, beautiful front ball there and hold from Bridget Casa, and her 10th goal of this first quarter. So the Yarrawonga Pigeons 15 leading the Wangaratta Magpies 10 on the 777 Automotive scoreboard.
And I think you talk about the pressure. I think, these Wangaratta players know the athletic ability of the Yarrawonga defenders, and that they can very quickly come off and intercept balls or certainly make a contest of it. So they're very aware of that. Having said that, Wangaratta score again. So they move to 11 goals with a Yarrawonga centre, and they're just getting it Yarrawonga to their goal circle a bit quickly and a bit easily, probably for Wang's liking at the moment. But Bridge Casa, she gets it under the post, and she's going to put one up for Wangaratta and for Yarrawonga and take them to 16 goals against Wangaratta's 11 with less than a minute to play.
Both goal shooters scoring the bulk of the goals, as we see a beautiful long bomb from Amy Byrne and a really high shot from her to get over the hands of the Pigeons defenders. So the Wangaratta Magpies score back on their own centre pass. So the Pigeons here looking to reply. Grady in goal defence is out of play. The hands over pressure from Izzy Byrne draws the contact and the obstruction. Ball goes from Irvine to Moore. Little sneaky pass there to Bridget Casa, who I'm not sure if she was ready for it either.
She did have the hand up calling for it. I think she wanted it.
Another goal for the Pigeons here late into this first quarter. And can the Magpies reply before this final whistle signals quarter time? Grady wants to see if they can, but unfortunately they're just a little bit too late. So first quarter action is done. The Yarrawonga Pigeons with the lead 17 to the Wangaratta Magpies 12. We will be back in a moment to bring you the second quarter.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a seafood basket served with chips, salad and tartare sauce from just $18. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
GoTafe is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTafe is the place for you.
GoTafe is leading,
inspiring,
hands-on,
flexible, fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
R18 Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of news, talk, sport and music.
We're community focused, passionate about our region and what makes it great.
We bring you the very latest news that matters, from breaking stories in your backyard to headlines and hot topics from around the country and around the world.
And on weekends, we live and breathe local sport and bring you exclusive live coverage.
1494 2AY. We're your local.
Welcome back to O&M Live. Second quarter action being brought to you by the 777 Automotive. We are at the Wangaratta Magpies home ground where they are currently trailing the Yarrawonga Pigeons 12 goals to 17. That is such a high-scoring first quarter, reflective of these conditions with the Pigeons with the first centre pass here for this second quarter. Umpire's whistle has gone and Irvine goes to Moore, back to Irvine, to Cassar. Quick release to Kennedy and that heavy defence by Leah Genvy. Those two have just run shoulder to shoulder that whole first quarter, and I expect that's how the fourth quarters are going to look. But Kennedy high up in their attacking third. They're happy to play the ball around. Irvine gives off to Moore on the edge of the circle there. A little pass through to Irvine and clever defence from Byrne to get in the way, and the short pass there called. A change in the defensive end for the Magpies with Liv Richards coming on in goal defence. This has been a play of theirs over the last few weeks, injecting her into the game. So Hannah Grady taking herself to the bench. The attacking end remains the same. So Crimmins gives off to Genvy on the transverse line. They reset the ball, and the ball is in the hands of Shay Crimmins, Laura Ryan out of play in wing defence. So Byrne gives off to Crimmins, to Georgia Clark. Leslie getting her 3 feet distance, but Georgia Clark making no mess of time there. So the first goal of this quarter goes to the Wangaratta Magpies with the centre to come, but hands over pressure from Laura Irvine brings the ball nearly in the Pigeons' possession, but great teamwork from Byrne and the Byrne sisters there to keep possession. So Izzy Byrne with the ball here closest to us. Gives off to Sister Byrne, and a contact call from goal shooter Georgia Clark hurts them, particularly when she would have turned and shot that.
And that was a better play, even though she got the contact call against her, but they took that extra pass and waited for the pass to Georgia to be on rather than forcing it. Unfortunately, it hasn't come off. But here we are with Yarrawonga with the ball. They've had to go way, way back to their goal third, but Kylie Leslie with a fantastic drive has moved it very quickly to their transverse, and all of a sudden they have it on the circle edge, and a nice little bounce pass into Bridget Cassar. Finds her under the post. She misses, but she will have another opportunity as Yarrawonga take the throw in on the baseline. So Sarah Moore.
Well defended by Liv Richards then. She nearly got the defensive rebound, which is a great injection for her into this game. And already she's just out of play here, but Sarah Moore putting up her first shot of this second quarter, and it spills out, but the possession remains in the Pigeons, with Casa notching up her 13th goal of this game here, with the Pigeons leading 18 goals to 13 on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
And I think it's a good play to bring Liv into the game now. I mean, Hannah was playing well, but her and Sarah Moore, are so familiar with each other, and I think, Liv provides a bit of an unknown. Sarah Moore's not going to quite know how she's going to set up and play defensively. So I think it just gets the shooters thinking a little bit now too, as Wangaratta try to find a shooter. They're on the circle, and Shay Crimmins with the ball over to Amy Byrne, a bit far out, but the refeed moves her closer under the post, and she scores for the Wangaratta Magpies with her first for the quarter. So Wangaratta move to 14, Yarrawonga on 18 on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
Byrne to Byrne into Clark, and that is a better play from the Magpies there. 3 passes from their centre pass to a goal at the end. So already the crowd's up and about. Pigeons with the centre pass. Kennedy, tight defence from Genvi. They're just going to be going at it all afternoon, and Casa with the goal to finish. So a quick reply from the Pigeons brings them up to 19. The home team trailing on 15 on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
Wangaratta have the ball in their goal third. Amy Byrne is out of the circle, and they're just trying to find circle edge. But the umpire has found a holding call against Izzy Byrne in the centre, so Yarrawonga will take the ball down very quickly through their middle channel via Laura Ryan, and Laura Irvine finds Bridget Casa in under the post. So very smooth, quick play by Yarrawonga, and that's the damage we talk about. You get that turnover and they make you pay very quickly, and that is what can be demoralising. So Yarrawonga centre, and they will take it again into their goal third.
Great strength then from Tilly Kennedy to take that pass with 2 hands, and a great non-call from the umpire to just let the contested possession go. Tilly Kennedy turned, stepped on, delivered the pass, and Moore ends that play with her first goal of this second quarter. So the second quarter action being brought to you by 777 Automotive. Shout out to Phil Bullivant on holidays. We told him we'd give him a shout out down at, up in Queensland.
Enjoying the sunny state. Good on him, and lucky him, I say. As Wangaratta have it on circle edge, Izzy Byrne, she's having to go back off the circle to Shay Crimmins. They're just finding it hard to get clean ball into that circle, but the umpire has found a penalty against Liv Lovell in the goal circle. So Georgia Clark will have a shot.
Liv Lovell is making life incredibly difficult for Georgia Clark in that circle. She's not giving her an inch at all. So both of them really drawing in a few breaths while the ball is at the other end, and a breaking call here by Tilly Kennedy, just half a step. So the Magpies have the opportunity to bring one back on this scoreboard. Byrne to Crimmins to Richards, opting to go back again, but coming off the ball. Kennedy, that's an Urban Greys play, inside injury clinic play of the day. My apologies, just that tap, and every Yarrawonga Pigeon was up and about looking for the scrap. So Ryan to Lovell. Ryan saying, go, give it to me. I'm happy to take that high ball, and they're on the attack. Moore looking in for Casa, opts not to pass it. The ball goes from Irvine into Casa, and a contact call from Liv Richards gives Casa the clear range on shot, and she doesn't mess around with that one. So the Pigeons now 22, leading the Magpies 16. Over 5 minutes played here on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock.
And Wangaratta just being forced to go back again. Leah Genvi providing a lot of opportunity in that centre third as a backup, using the reset there, but this is where the Yarrawonga defence has just been outstanding today. So Shay Crimmins finds Amy Byrne, a quick release out to Izzy, and again they opt to go over to Georgia Clark, and it's going to be a turnover instead of going for the easy front option and then looking again for the next pass from there. So Yarrawonga with the baseline throw in. Liv Lovell
resetting the throw in. It was just taken at the wrong step, which come finals probably won't be brought back, but I think because it was the first time of the game, they let that one go, and that outlet pass from the Pigeons goes from deep in their defensive third to the corner of their middle transverse, and the damage is done with a pass like that. But the Magpies have managed to turn over possession, not quite in their favour, but just slow the Pigeons up here. So Moore to Kennedy, opts for the refeed to get Katie Dean out of position and draws the contact. So Moore with the clear vision on shot and takes her second goal of this second quarter. The second quarter action being brought to you by 777 Automotives. Pigeons with the centre following that goal. Ryan on the transverse line. She's so steady in that wing defence role, and she's been instrumental in their past couple of wins.
And we can just see here Laura Irvine, that matchup we talked about on Izzy Byrne. They are just not giving each other any space at all. They're right there. They're absolutely trying to tap every ball that comes their way. And unfortunately, Izzy couldn't stop it there. So Yarrawonga score another goal and they move ahead to 24 goals. Wangaratta on 16 on the Cavalier home scoreboard as Wangaratta try and find a free player here in their attacking third, and it is hard to do at the moment, but they're showing good patience, and this is where they just need to maintain the work rate and wait for the player to open up. And Liv Lovell's been called out of play, so they have a 2-on-1 in the goal circle, and they should be able to score off this as Amy Byrne puts the ball up, and a fantastic goal for her. So they keep themselves in it. They've moved to 17 goals, and they trail Yarrawonga Pigeons, who are on 24.
Interesting. Amy Byrne shoots off one hand. So not something that you see very often, that you don't use that secondary hand as just kind of the balance. So very, very interesting to see that, and a beautiful goal from her. Goal attack at the other end in. Sarah Moore replies. So the Pigeons again out to 8, 25-17 on the Cavalier home scoreboard. We're over halfway in this second quarter on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock, and the Magpies will want to score here to keep themselves in touch. And Byrne harms over pressure by Liv Lovell isn't a problem. That lovely high shot going through for her 5th goal of the game. And Irvine for the Pigeons to Kennedy, and great defensive work from Richard. She's had time in that first quarter to watch what's happening in that attacking end and just really kept the foot in front of Sarah Moore, to get that great intercept there. So the Magpies now on the attack, and Liv Lovell, she's getting her confidence there. She's taken a stab at a couple of balls as they've come through. Definitely 3D Lane's highlights of the day, but the Magpies regain possession, and the high ball goes into Clark, and I don't know how Kylie Leslie got around to that, but her elevation was great, but a contact call just on the landing. So Clark responding with another goal, bringing them within 7.
And it's their centre. And we see Georgia Clark come out, great drive, and it was a good drive in by Amy Byrne. Unfortunately, the pass just wasn't on target and it's over the back line. So Yarrawonga will get the opportunity to take it down. And unfortunately, it's off for Wangaratta centre. So the work for the defenders is coming now.
And it just seems like both Kylie Leslie and Laura Ryan have a lot of space bringing that ball down the court. That actual outlet pass is getting to that attacking transverse line for the Pigeons so easily and quite undefended for that big outlet pass. The Magpies are doing the really hard work on those first 1 or 2 small passes, but the long pass is just what's doing the damage down to Casa.
And that's that connection between the defenders and the awareness of where the other player's going, and, you know, having the vision to be able to see that the wing defence is going shorts, and then having the pace and the speed to get into that space for that quick release outlet pass, and both are doing it well. As
and you talk about a quick release outlet pass, Irvine, she nails one into Casa, and a great goal for her to finish, bringing her to her 19th goal. The Yarrawonga Pigeons are leading here 27 to the Magpies 19. Crimmins with the ball deep in the pocket on this side closest to us. They opt for the reset to Richards, and Amy Byrne, a nice ball over the top there to Georgia Clark, who has been really on song in this goal shooting bib all day.
And you can see she's a really athletic moving shooter, so she doesn't tend to set up for a hold, but she probably just needs to be mindful of, if she's going to do that, is don't leave off too early, because a defender like Liv Lovell is going to give herself every opportunity in that back space at getting that. So Yarrawonga's ball inside the circle with Sarah Moore. She's going to use Tilly Kennedy on the circle edge. Gets a quick one into Bridget Casa under the post, and she won't make a mistake with that one. So she clicks over her 20th goal for the game and puts them onto 28 goals on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
Just over 3 minutes to play here in this second quarter action in Wangaratta on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. It has been a really fast action game today, and Sarah Moore there with the look away pass to Casa on the baseline. I wonder if Bridge was ready for it. She took it with 2 hands, so she must have been, but the confusion there from Moore is very clever. But the Magpies gain possession off an offensive call from the Pigeons.
A held ball under the post, that was, yeah.
Byrne to Byrne on circle edge. Her athleticism is great. Izzy Byrne, and the high ball goes over to Clark. Nearly trickles out, but she regains possession, opts for the refeed just to get balanced for her shot at goal. So Magpies with...
How many subscriptions do you have?
To come on the 777 second quarter action. More long pass to Casa, standing still, and Katie Dean all day for those parallel passes. And again, a little bit of confusion, but the Magpies have managed to regain possession. They've rallied together. Liv Lovell's out of play 2/3 of the way in their attacking third, and they utilise that space to their advantage. Ball goes into Byrne. She misses her shot, but the ball again is in the Magpies' possession, and Georgia Clark makes no doubt this time. So the Magpies coming back to within 8, 28
Laura
plays 20.
Irvine, 3D lanes highlight of the day. Intercept on the transverse. Excellent elevation, and Yarrawonga will take this one down. Tilly Kennedy with a strong drive. They're just sitting off the circle edge, waiting for the shooter to open up, and Bridge Casa on the baseline. Turns, shoots, and unfortunately can't score, but Liv Rich is in a great rebounding position. And Wangaratta will have an opportunity with 1.5 minutes left to take it into their attack end and get this one back.
And Liv Richards, she's brought a little bit more height there. She probably is just a little bit taller than Hannah Grady, so she's matches Bridget Cassar for height for those rebounds. So Izzy Byrne, quick transitions from the Magpies, and Laura Ryan, she has a go at a 3D lanes highlight of the day and can't quite take the intercept, but slows the Magpies play down. So Byrne to Crimmins, onto Amy Byrne in goal attack. She gives off to sister Izzy Byrne, and a great hold from Shay Crimmins to keep Laura Ryan out of the way, but the 2-on-1 defence then of Leslie and Lovell stops the ball going into Clark. So Amy Byrne next to the post opts for the feed into Clark, and again the defensive Pigeons have just tapped it back out into the Magpies' possession. So we're into the last minute here on the Jacob Toyota Used Cars time clock, and there's a contact call outside the circle. So Byrne gives off to Clark, turns and shoots again. So Magpies with a late goal here in this second quarter bring them back within 7, 28 plays. 23, sorry, 5 within 5, 28 plays 23 on the Cavalier home scoreboard.
So Yarrawonga, ball in their attacking end, but there's a turnover, a good hustle by Wangaratta, and they have the opportunity, and they get great outlet pass to Shay Crimmins, who does a quick give and go to Izzy Byrne on the circle, and they opt to go to Amy Byrne, but it's intercepted by Kylie Leslie as the buzzer goes for half-time.
So at half-time here at Wangaratta Magpies, the visitors in the Pigeons are leading 28 to the home team, the Magpies 23. That has been the first half action of the O&M Live Netball for McRae Motors. Tune in a few minutes for all of the second half action.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a seafood basket, served with chips, salad and tartare sauce from just $18. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
GoTafe is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTafe is the place for you.
GoTafe is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
Adroit Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
Zero 0.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of news, talk, sport, and music.
We're community focused, passionate about our region and what makes it great.
We bring you the very latest news that matters, from breaking stories in your backyard to headlines and hot topics from around the country and around the world.
And on weekends, we live and breathe local sport and bring you exclusive live coverage.
1494 2AY. We're your local.
Yep, they're on. Yeah, so Shellpet's doing it.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball for Macrae Motors. We are at the Norm Minns Oval where the Wangaratta Magpies, are playing host to the Yarrawonga Pigeons. The Yarrawonga Pigeons with the narrow lead here of 5 goals, 28-23. We saw the Wangaratta Magpies come back in that second quarter. They were down by 9 at one point, but both teams making some quick changes. We can see that Maddie Allen for the Pigeons has come on in goal attack, a move that we saw the Pigeons do last week against the Albury Tigers, and a little bit of a change in the attacking end for the Magpies with Shell Pets coming into wing attack and taking the first centre pass from Izzy Byrne here, bringing her into the game. Hannah Grady coming on in wing defence to join Liv Richards here on the line in goal defence. So Pets with another touch to start this third quarter. Byrne giving off to Georgia Clark, opts for the refeed, and the contact call from Ryan at the top of the circle there leaves an undefended Byrne to give off to sister Amy Byrne for her first goal of this third quarter. Pigeons with the centre pass here. Allen gives off to Irvine. Parallel pass to Ryan, but no defensive pressure means that it's easy to get to. Irvine gives off to Allen. Attacking third now for the Pigeons. Looks back for the reset again in the hands of Ryan, and a high ball lobs over to Maddie Allen. Great defence from the Magpies, but can't regain possession. And Cassar makes the most of Richards going to Allen and taking her first goal of this third quarter. So Pigeons now 29. Playing the Magpies 24. Third quarter action is being brought to you by Martin's Travel Group Albury.
And Shellpet's just a stepping call off the centre pass there, gives Yarrawonga the opportunity to take it into attack. And the ball was a bit of a loose pass there from Tilly Kennedy, but the umpires called a contact on Katie Dean. So Maddie Allen will have a shot. She's going to step in and take her first shot of the game and scores. So Yarrawonga moved 29 to Wangaratta's 24.
A great roll there from Bridget Cassar. That's a textbook move from her, but Katie Dean read it really well and went with her. The offside call from Grady, just toe over the line. Contact from Byrne. Irvine with the clear ball into Cassar. under the post and makes no doubt.
And when Bridget Casser presents front, she's so strong, and the defenders really don't stand a chance at getting that ball because she's so strong.
Hands over pressure there from Laura Ryan, really making Rochelle Petts look down but then have to look sideways. So Magpies in the hands of Grady to Petts. Great work from her to look sideways and then look down, and great present from Amy Byrne deep on the baseline, nailing another goal in that goal attack bib for them.
Maddie Allen with a great drive off the line. She finds Tilly Kennedy, who'll get a penalty pass. Off to Maddie Allen, who's just inside the circle. She's looking to give it off. Fakes one out to Laura Irvine and then finds Bridget Casser under the post. A sneaky little one. And she puts another goal up for Yarrawonga as Wangaratta take the centre.
Petts. Oh, well done from Liv Lovell. I don't know how she managed to get the arm around, but a contact call must have been interlaced with the arm of goal shooter Georgia Clark. So her first goal of this third quarter, keeping the Magpies in reach. 32 plays 26 here on the Martins Travel Group Albury scoreboard.
And Wang have just called it injury time, so Liv Richards has gone off. Not sure why that is there, but Hannah Grady will swing back into goal defence and Leah Genvy will come back into wing defence. So just rotating there, and the trainers will follow up with Liv Richards to see what she's done. As her teammate Katie Dean takes a great intercept, but unfortunately couldn't stabilise and gets a stepping call against her. So Yarrawonga, Tilly Kennedy with the ball on the circle. Some confusion between the defenders. Leaves Bridgecaster under the post. She scores her 24th goal of the game and puts Yarrawonga to a 33-26 goal lead on the Martins Travel Group scoreboard, Aubrey.
Just over 3 minutes played here on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock, as Leah Genvy just going a little bit too fast there and a footwork call. So Alan, her drive's been really great, lots of really sharp angles, and Bridget Cassar coming out at the top of the circle. Kennedy taking the ball deep, and well done to Hannah Grady and Katie Dean. That was a better swap, but the ball, just that pinpoint accuracy into Cassar, netting another goal for the Pigeons and their centre pass to come. So Kennedy gives off to Allen. A little bit of hedging work by Genvy, just trying to confuse the space. Irvine gives over the hands of Allen into Cassar, who opts to pass off, and Kennedy, clever play from her. 3D Lane's highlight of the day again, tipping the ball back to herself, and the ball goes across the circle. Great pass to Irvine, but a contact call in amidst all of that. So Maddie Allen putting up her second shot of this game, and it spills over. So the Magpies will have the opportunity to respond with the throw-in just in front of us. Katie Dean gives off to Grady, to Byrne, to Genvy, finding a great drive from Pett straight down the middle of the circle. Byrne, great ball into Clark, flirting with the sideline, but she makes no doubt that is one of the Magpies' better transition plays of this game.
And nice quick release of the ball, better timing on the drive, so just allowed Georgia that space in a one-on-one to open up and receive the ball over the top. But
Laura Irvine, that is a 3D Lanes highlight of the day, nearly textbook at both ends replica, and that's the damage she can do with her hands over pressure. She times that ball so well and keeps that 3-foot distance with hands over. Leslie to Kennedy. Allen coming out of the circle. She's on the far side of the court, gives off to Cassar. Little double play. Kennedy, great defence from Genvy, just keeping Tilly Kennedy really busy. And a contact call on Katie Dean gives Maddie Allen the ball right at the top of the circle arch. She steps in.
And she's tall. She could take a step and be under that post. And she sinks a beautiful long shot to put them into a 36-27 goal lead here with Yarrawonga's ball. And I think the thing with Maddie Allen is she's tall, but she's very athletic, and they can't be fooled into going 2-on-1 on Bridgecaster, I don't think, because she can move the ball quickly into that goal circle, and they really can't allow her that space, I don't think. So.
And a bit like Georgia Clark too. She's confident to put the ball up from that bit of a further distance. So that's a string to the Pigeons' bow in that both Sarah Moore and Allen in that goal attack bib respectively are happy to take those longer passes, as we see Cassar refeeding out to Kennedy, who gives the ball back, but just a little bit too much on it. So Katie Dean will take a little breath here as she brings the ball up to the baseline for the Magpies. Gives off to defensive partner Grady, who looks to get this play going, but a contact call first. We've played nearly 6 minutes here on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. Grady, great ball down the court there. Byrne looking for pets, but great defence from Ryan and a 3D lanes highlight of the day. Ball falls into her hands and transition beautifully again. Leslie centering ball to Kennedy, but the obstruction call from Byrne has come first. So Leslie with possession now for the Pigeons to Irvine. Opts for the pass cross court to Ryan, and great work from Amy Byrne to try and get a touch on it. Casa having all faith in Kennedy with that real defensive pressure from Izzy Byrne as well to really take that ball deep in the pocket, and she did. And a ball there, Grady trying really hard, but Maddie Allen regaining possession, putting up her third goal of this game, and the Pigeons leading now 36 to the Magpies 27 on the Martins Travel Group Albury scoreboard.
And we talked about Tilly Kennedy's body strength last week, and I think we're seeing that again today, and her teammates now have that the belief in her in that one-on-one position and contest to release the ball to her, knowing that she's going to be strong enough to put herself in a position to take it. So as Yarrawonga move it again into their attack, Bridget Casa with the ball in the circle, not quite within range, so she refeeds, and Maddie Allen now takes the shot under the post, and she puts it away. A beautiful goal. So she's gone to 4 goals, and Yarrawonga have moved to 37, leading by 10 over Wangaratta on 27 on the Martins Travel Group Albury scoreboard, as Yarrawonga again move the ball into their goal third.
That's just how quickly this lead can blow out. But that last turnover down in the Wang attack end was because of the defensive pressure of the Pigeons. They nearly created that defensive box whereby all 4 defenders are working together as one unit and playing the space a little bit and confusing what was happening. As we see Georgia Clark now for the Magpies having to drive out and looking to get that ball into Amy Byrne, but the hands of Kylie Leslie just getting in the way. So the Pigeons are on the transition again now. In the hands of Ryan to Leslie. Gives off to Allen. They're in their attacking third now. She has all faith in that high ball to Casa,
pass,
who Bridget makes no doubt of. So the Pigeons now with the 12 goal lead. 39 plays 27 here on the Martins Travel Group Albury scoreboard. Less than 7 minutes to play on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. And the Pigeons just really taking this lead.
Yeah, they are. And Maddie Allen, she has just been instrumental as she's come on this quarter. Just her movement and her attack into the circle is fantastic. And down here on the sideline, down from us, so Rochelle Petts will take a throw in. She finds Izzy Byrne, and can Wang find a way into their shooters? This is where the Yarrawonga defence has been so strong. Hands over and so disciplined. You know, they rarely get an obstruction call. So Izzy Byrne on the circle. And as I say that, they get an obstruction call inside the circle.
And Liv Lovell, she's working really tirelessly there in that goalkeeper, and I'm really happy to see her really taking the confidence to come out and take try her hand at a couple of those balls coming through, and just getting the Pigeons on the front foot. She's really doing the hard work on Georgia Clark. As we see Amy Byrne, an obstruction call, and the Pigeons are on the attack. Great drive and strength from Tilly Kennedy. Just the improvement she's made in 12 months in netball is outstanding.
And Wangaratta are really being spread defensively by the Yarrawonga attackers here. They're taking them really wide, and Yarrawonga giving himself so much space to drive into, and it's really hard to defend that, as Bridget Casa puts it in under the post as she moves to 29 goals, and Yarrawonga moved to 41, plays Wang's 27. And it's a Yarrawonga centre, so they just seem to have all the ball this quarter.
That pass going into Bridget Casa is a 3D lanes highlight of the day. It went over 3 defenders and straight to her hand. It was just pinpoint accurate, and the timing of it was so fantastic as Irvine coming off circle edge to give to Casa. As you mentioned earlier, Tam, when Bridget has that front position, she's very, very hard to beat as she notches up her 30th goal for this game. The Magpies, they really need to bring something here to try and keep this deficit as low as possible.
Ryan,
but
another
Laura
Ryan,
of the day. Just the hands over pressure. Again, her timing on that ball coming over. She's always at this reset ball, and again, that contest between Genvi and Kennedy is sensational, and Hannah Grady with the tap there on the baseline as well, and working front position on Bridget Casa. They're forced to go to Maddie Allen, who has no problem with that as she nets her 5th goal for this game. The Yarrawonga Pigeons now leading 43 to the Magpies 27 on the Martins Travel Group Albury scoreboard.
And Yarrawonga go back, but they're going to have a penalty here at the top. Tilly Kennedy finds Bridget Casa coming out. They'll use the circle to work it into where they need it. Maddie Allen is undefended at the top. A little quick pass over to Bridgecastle, finds her on the baseline. She draws the penalty but puts the shot away anyway. So Yarrawonga just extend their lead, and this is where they're so dangerous. Do the defenders from Wangaratta, do they go one-on-one and then leave a one-on-one situation with Bridgecastle under the post, or do they double team and leave Maddie Allen to work that ball in? It's such a difficult one to work.
The defensive pressure of the Pigeons here is making it really hard for the Wang Magpies to have the vision to see, and Amy Byrne's forced to do a bit more work on the side of outside of the ring as she makes it in there this time for her 8th goal of the game. So a better goal from the Magpies, but the Pigeons just doing the work defensively to really hold up the Magpies' attacking end.
And the footwork of someone like Kylie Leslie is phenomenal for young defenders watching. That's what they need to be watching. Her ability to be light on her feet, work around her player is just outstanding, and young defenders should be looking at that as Yarrawonga score another goal. It's Wangaratta centre. Can they score off this one?
Oh, and a contact call, forcing contact from Izzy Byrne. So Ryan puts the Pigeons on the attack, and every transition play Laura Ryan has been a part of. Ball from Irvine to Casa. Spills out again over everyone's hand. So it's a Pigeons throw in on the far side of the court, deep in their pocket. Allen doing a really great dodge there to get out of the way of Byrne. Cross-court ball to Kennedy, into Casa. Takes a breath, puts the shot up and nails it for the Pigeons. So they are out now to an 18-goal lead here. 46 plays 28 on the Martins Travel Group Albury. We've got less than 2 minutes to play on the Jacob Toyota used cars time clock. This third quarter action has seen the Pigeons really extend their lead, and the defence of Katie Dean is great. But another 3D lanes highlight of the day. Bridget Cassar finding Maddie Allen off balance to put that shot up.
And when you're on, aren't you? And the things... the ball's over the baseline, they're flicking it back in, they're finding teammates. All those things tend to go your way when you're up. So here we go. Wangaratta will have an opportunity on their goal circle, straight into Amy Byrne, who opts to go over to Georgia Clark. She draws a penalty and puts the shot up. So trying to keep Wang in touch as they move to 29 versus Yarrawonga's 47. That's really blowing out here as we go within the last minute of this quarter.
Tilly Kennedy, that run-on pass is just so great, and obviously a skill that she's been improving whilst playing in the VNL in that under 19s competition. But just the accuracy of that pass as she's running on is great, as we see Casa convert for that one. And I was just about to say, Tam, as well, the Pigeons are missing Hannah Symes in their defensive end as well. So we speak about the depth that they have. Liv Lovell has done an exceptional job in goalkeeper, and I think Hannah Symes is probably tuning in up in sunny Queensland as well and thinking how great is it for all of her teammates to be playing so well, as Amy Byrne notches a goal to keep the Magpies in touch here. 48 plays the Magpies 30. The Magpies have a lot of work to do here in the dying stages of this third quarter to stay within touch.
Yes, and I'm not sure it's information that opposition teams would be too stoked to hear that they've still got a Hannah Symes that can come back into this side. But that, again, as we've said so many times, just shows the depth that they have at their disposal. And that's notwithstanding the fact that their B grade is having a very strong season as well. So 3-quarter time here.
The Pigeons leading 48 to the Magpies 30. That has been the third quarter action here on the O&M Live Netball for McRae Motors. Join us after the break for the final quarter.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a seafood basket served with chips, salad and tartare sauce from just $18. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
GoTafe is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTAFE is the place for you.
GoTAFE is leading,
Inspiring.
hands-on,
Flexible. Fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
R18 Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
Pain or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest. Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of news, talk, sport, and music.
We're community focused, passionate about our region and what makes it great.
We bring you the very latest news that matters, from breaking stories in your backyard to headlines and hot topics from around the country and around the world.
And on weekends, we live and breathe local sport and bring you exclusive live coverage.
1494 2AY. We're your local.
Welcome back to O&M Live Netball for McRae Motors. We are at the Normans Oval where the Wangaratta Magpies are hosting the Yarrawonga Pigeons. The Yarrawonga Pigeons on song in that third quarter. We often call it the championship quarter. 20 goals from them. Sees them leading 48 to the Magpies 30. We can see a couple of changes in both teams. Bridget Cassar having a rest for the Pigeons and Sarah Moore coming into that goal shooting bib. We've seen that change happen a few times during the season. And why not Laura Irvine into wing attack, having the switch there with Tilly Kennedy. But the Magpies with the first centre pass to get us started in this fourth quarter. Byrne gives off to Crimmins and Clark's come out to goal attack but just spills the ball. So the Pigeons, two passes, they're on their circle edge and clever play from Moore there. It would have been a short pass to Irvine, but Katie Dean, three lanes, highlight of the day. And that's what the Magpies really will need if they can bring this deficit back a little bit.
So they're just here trying to break through this Yarrawonga defence. Izzy Burns off the circle. She goes to Shay Crimmins. They're just playing it around. Georgia Clark comes out. She doesn't draw the defender, so it's 2-on-1 in the circle, and she re-enters front. But a tip from Tilly Kennedy on the circle spills to Kylie Leslie, and look at that. Yarrawonga are in their goal circle. And Maddie Allen will take a shot on the baseline and puts it away. So that hurts. That really hurts. And that was down there within about 2 seconds, that ball. So Yarrawonga will take their centre. Maddie Allen off the line, undefended. And Laura Ryan providing great backup as she has all game. She's just so steady, isn't she?
And I think what the Pigeons have shown in that third quarter is coming into finals, just the damage they can do when everything is working for them. The Magpies have tried and tried and tried, and their plays haven't necessarily done anything wrong. The Pigeons have just been that little bit better.
Well, they've had the answers, haven't they? And I think, off the back of some changes, the fact that they can still do that, they don't need their players to take a quarter to warm into it. They're on and ready to go every time. As Wangaratta get a penalty outside the circle, so Shay Crimmins, she finds Amy Byrne. She wants the quick refeed, but they go over to Georgia Clark under the post, and she puts one away. And she's had a great game, Georgia Clark. She's been put under pressure quite a bit with some of the passes, and she's certainly stood tall as Yarrawonga move it into their goal third. So Maddie Allen, the big reset across the court to Laura Ryan, as you can imagine, they managed to pull it in, but that ball goes loose from Tilly Kennedy.
Izzy Byrne and Tilly Kennedy having a little bit of a chuckle there at that pass to no one, which I think both teams can have a little chuckle at. But Dean gets us started here again. Grady, the obstruction call from Irvine. So Dean now with the ball just outside of the Magpies' defensive circle. Byrne, ball to Genvy, to Grady. Quick release from her brings Byrne deep in there, attacking third. High ball over hands, Liv Lovell doing the great defensive work on Amy Byrne, and two-handed take a 3D lanes highlight of the day. Ball straight in, 3 passes. Allen, only her second miss since coming on at halftime, and she'll have the shot again and nailing that one. So the Pigeons still out by 20. 51 plays 31 here on the X-Ray Group scoreboard.
Liv Lovell just read that like a book, came out, was all hers. So great turnover from Yarrawonga as they move it forward. Sarah Moore out of the circle, up through the middle channel, finds Maddie Allen under the post with a great drive, and she puts it away. So Yarrawonga just extend their lead, and found out a bit about Maddie last week. She's from Geelong. She's got a sister who plays VNL down there.
She's a dentist.
She's a dentist and a car fanatic. So she spent some time recently over at the Grand Prix and is a bit of a rev head, the Yarrawonga rev head, they said.
And she, interestingly, I said, how did you end up at the Pigeons? Like, did you know someone? She said, no. She said, I just figured it would be a way to meet people. And look where she's staring down of what should be a cracking final season. And from all of her reports, she's really, really enjoying it. And I think with the class and the experience of a Sarah Moore or Bridget Cassar, she's just been brought into every game that she's a part of.
Oh, absolutely. And she's played a high level of netball in Victoria. So I think, playing outdoor netball is probably something different for her, and she's just slotted in beautifully to this team.
And Crimmins, better play there from Georgia Clark, possibly why they've swung her out to goal attack. She found a lot of space there undefended. Magpies have fumbled but regained possession, and Clark here with the shot now makes no doubt. So that's her 24th of the Magpies 32. So the Pigeons leading 53 to the Magpies 32 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. Nearly 5 minutes played here at the Jacob Toyota Used Cars time clock, and I think Sarah Moore was trying to pass the ball to the footy ground there.
Just mixing it up a little bit as Katie Dean takes a throw in there for Wangaratta. She finds Hannah Grady in a good outlet pass to Leah Genvy, who finds Izzy Byrne on the move. She has to balance up, and they resettle. Georgia
Look at the
Clark's
defence
on the
here of the Pigeons. The 5 defenders, they are just taking up every space that they can, and you can see it's so hard for the Magpies to penetrate, but they do. They're really patient and get that ball into Amy Clark, who takes her first goal of this 4th quarter.
And they're dictating, they're forcing the Wang girls on top of each other and not allowing them that open space to move into. So great defensive work as we see Tilly Kennedy with a beautiful intercept there, and Yarrawonga will move it down through Laura Irvine, who finds Sarah Moore on the run outside the circle. Nimble as ever, says. Out she comes. So Laura Irvine with the penalty as Sarah goes back to more familiar territory under this post. And she goes for the long bomb but can't put it away. And Wangaratta with the turnover.
And Grady here, ball to Byrne. Leah Genvy, she's having to do dodge after dodge just to get that front position because the height mismatch there. She wants to come forward, which is great. Byrne now digs the ball in to try and draw that contact, and she does on Liv Lovell. So Lovell will be out of play. Byrne with the shot, well within range, and nails that one. So the Yarrawonga Pigeons 19-goal lead, 53 plays 34 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. Our 4th quarter action is thanks to the Insight Injury Clinic. The Pigeons just happy to play around with it a little bit. A couple of refeeds there between Sarah Moore and Irvine. Gets Katie Dean out of play high in the Pigeons circle. Grady doing the hard work to keep Maddie Allen away from that goal post, and Sarah Moore, though a missed shot, a great tap off the rebound to get to Maddie Allen, who can't sink that one either, and a great defensive rebound from Hannah Grady.
So, look, Wang have had lots of opportunity. This is where they get the ball to, and it's, I guess, from here that they've really struggled for most of the game. So they've got another opportunity. Georgia Clark's outside the circle, and Amy Burns in under the post, and they do find her with a great bounce pass, and she puts the ball up and scores for Wangaratta. So they move to 35, but they're trailing Yarrawonga 53 on the Jacob Toyota, on the X-Ray Group scoreboard.
And Clark out in goal attack, gives back to Byrne, opts for the high pass into Amy Byrne, and it comes off with a contact call from Liv Lovell. So she'll stand out of play and Byrne will sink that one. So the Magpies notching one back. Urban Greys Player of the Day, Tam Matthews. Who are you thinking?
Gosh, there's any number of players out here that would be well-deserved winners of that award. I love the way Maddie Allen's come into the game, but I think Bridge Casa was very hard for Wangaratta to stop. She really dominated in those first 3 quarters. And
there's a goal to 3D Lanes highlight of the day. The spring in Leah Genvy.
Unbelievable, isn't she? She's only short.
And she just can get right up underneath balls. And yeah, some of those ones, a bit like Em Brown, that you don't think they're going to get to and manages to not go offside a lot of the time as well. So great play. Katie Dean out of play for Sarah Moore, dictating where the ball is going to go and passes off to Allen, getting her that little bit closer to the ring, and another nice goal from her. So the Magpies with the centre pass to come, Byrne to Crimmins to Grady, centering ball to Byrne through 3 Pigeons defenders, but Byrne just getting that front position over Liv Lovell. The last 3 passes have been really, really on song to her, and Clark getting her own rebound here. She'll put the shot up and convert. So the Pigeons now back to 17, 54 plays 37 on the X-Ray Group scoreboard. We have 6.5 minutes here to play on the Jacob Toyota Used Cars time clock. I think the Magpies will just be hoping to dig into this lead a little bit in this second half of this 4th quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just put some clean passages of play together heading into finals next week, as Maddie Allen takes a long shot and doesn't sink it. Katie Dean with the rebound. I'm not sure what Sarah Moore did then, but she ended up on the ground.
I think she's trying to work out what she did as well, but she's up, which is good. So Genvy with the ball, looking to Grady. And long ball, but Lovell, she read it, but opted to keep her hands down.
And she would be another contender for the Urban Grace Player of the Day. I think she's had a fantastic game and really made life very difficult for the Wangaratta feeders and shooters down there. She's really backed herself on those long balls, which is great to see, as Wangaratta try and break this defence. And there we go, Liv Lovell on song with a tap, and Yarrawonga run it to the goal's edge. Beautiful
what a
pass.
feed from Laura Irvine. The confidence in these Pigeons players between one another is phenomenal, and it's great to just see that they're pushing each other to be better. You could have a lead like this and kind of ease off a little bit, knowing what the next few weeks bring, but they're just continuing to bring the intensity, to be dynamic and to really push each other.
And I love the way Tilly Kennedy drew that. She drove into the space, she forced the contact, and she's so strong and giving herself so much time to do that. And, you know, they're the sorts of things she's obviously learnt down at VNL, how to create the drive and draw the contact. As Wangaratta move it into their goal third, Izzy Byrne on the circle. She has to go off to Shay Crimmins, but the umpires found a contact, or a holding call, in the circle. So Amy Byrne with a shot under the post misses, but Liv Lovell goes off the rebound, gets a little bit lost under there, and Yarrawonga do come up with the ball.
And well done, Izzy Byrne. Really great contest from her. Perhaps the umpire was just a little bit behind the play, because probably from our angle it looked quite clean, but Pigeons on the attack again, and dare I say it, Tam, Yarrawonga Pigeons versus Lavington, second plays third next weekend. If the Pigeons put on a performance as they have today, the Panthers, they're going to have their work cut out for them. But if it's a day like today, I expect that next Saturday's qualifying final will be very interesting.
Oh, it's going to be an absolute ripper, isn't it? And, you know, if I was Lavington, I'd be sitting down and watching this game and trying to get as much as I could out of it about the Yarrawonga Pigeons, because they're going to need it going into the final against them, I think.
And for the Magpies too, we spoke a little bit earlier that they won't know who they're up against in that elimination final. We've seen first round of the year, they played the Albury Tigers here at home. Not the greatest conditions. Magpies still working on that shooting combination with the loss of Amanda Umansky to injury just before the season started. Albury Tigers at that point with a very, very different lineup. Then during the season, we saw North Albury defeat Wangaratta Magpies. They caused that upset during the game. So that whichever team Wang Magpies comes up again, it will be phenomenal.
And I think if they do come up against Albury, even the second time they played Albury were without some key players that day as well. So, Wangaratta, if they come up against Albury, the team they play next week is going to be...
a 3D lanes highlight of the day. Sorry, Tam. Sanini with the falling out of court pass, and it went over defenders' eyes that were down to a goal. Sorry to interrupt
Making
you.
a late play for Urban Grey's player of the day. So I think, if Wang do come up against Albury, it's going to be a very different side to what they've seen in either of those other two games. And I think given that Albury would be very confident going into it, but they're not there yet. They need to do the work in the next hour or so to shore up their spot in finals. As Yarrawonga show us certainly what they're capable of, and Katie Dean does get the turnover there and give Wang a late opportunity with only a couple of minutes to go on the clock.
Better
Georgia
play
Clark.
from the Magpies. As you said earlier, they have had plenty of the ball, and when they get that fast run on, they are really quite unstoppable, as we see Byrne notching up her 15th goal of this game. So the Magpies 39 trailing, the visitors in the Pigeons 58. We've got less than 2 minutes to play on the Jacob Toyota Used Cars time clock. Our fourth quarter action, thanks to Insight Injury Clinic, has seen the Pigeons continue to extend their lead, and Maddie Allen has been instrumental in that.
As Wangaratta Shea Crimmins off the line, Georgia Clark's athleticism is fantastic to watch, as she does spray that one a little bit. Amy Burns, she's not the tallest shooter, so she really needs a bit of space behind her if she's going to drop into it like that, as Liv Lovell takes the ball for Yarra, and a couple of quick releases there. Kylie Leslie with some beautiful drives, and along with Tilly Kennedy, and their timing is just so sweet to watch, isn't it?
In that play, Laura Irvine created space for the three players around her, even though she didn't actually get the ball at all. She was creating all the space. So Irvine now with the ball. Allen at the top of the circle, gives off to Sarah Moore on the baseline, and Sarah Moore just adds another one to the Pigeons tally. So we've got a minute to play here on the Jacob Toyota Used Cars time clock. Pigeons with the centre pass. Kennedy takes the ball, gives off to Moore, coming off on the baseline. She's out of the circle. She goes cross court to Irvine, and there's a contact call on the circle edge from Izzy Byrne, or possibly an offside call. Sarah Moore will take the ball at the top of the circle. Gives off to Irvine deep in that pocket, and the triangle play, dropping that ball over the defender's hands into Allen, who notches another one for the Pigeons. So interestingly, both Maddie Allen and Sarah Moore have provided 15 goals each for the Pigeons. So no matter which position they are in, they're such great contributors.
Yeah, and we've seen that every week. Just they're not reliant on one shooter, and that's such a strength, I think, when it comes into finals and there's hot weather and, you're needing some versatility. As Yarra take the ball on the buzzer, but it's game over here at the Wangaratta Magpies home ground, as they go down 39 goals to 60 to the Yarrawonga Pigeons, and what a display by them.
We see the players shaking hands. They will go in for their final huddles, and Tamara Matthews will go and grab our Urban Greys player of the day. The Pigeons, the successes here, 60, defeating the Wangaratta Magpies 39. They have absolutely shown what they are capable of come finals time. Speaking of finals, next weekend sees 2 games of action for O&M Live Netball. Our first game will be broadcast from you just over the fence at the Wangaratta Rovers on Saturday. That will see the Yarrawonga Pigeons take on the Lavington Panthers. Sunday's game will be at the Albury Tigers ground. Wangaratta Magpies will wait until later on today to see where their fate lies. But our Urban Greys player of the day today, Bridget Cassar, great contribution from you to such a great score and great win for the Pigeons.
Yeah, look, it was a really big team effort today. We're of course missing a couple of key players, but I've really, this season it's been about focusing on what we do well as a team, not so much what you do well or I do well. So that way, if anyone's missing, we kind of just go back to the drawing board. I think, the girls were fantastic today. Everything we asked, they did.
And you can see that defensively, the pressure defensively, particularly as it's coming through that transitional, through the mid-third, and you see the 5 positions, centre, wing, defence, goalkeeper, just incredible. And to get a touch and then someone picking up the scraps is great. And then the likes of yourself, Sarah Moore and Maddie Allen, just being able to rotate through those 3 positions is incredible.
It's a luxury. I've never had the luxury of just having that rotation, and I think it's just an element of surprise. Like, I might work one week and then not the next, and it's just great because these girls, probably the goalers, are now getting some consistency together, and training obviously plays a big role in that. And you know, everyone's been affected by COVID and flu and whatnot. So look, as I said, we've been really working tirelessly on a game plan, and the girls, whoever's stepping in, is sticking to it. So
and
really proud.
Yeah, and you can see that connection. And we talked last week about, you know, you had your reunion, and yet 5 players from your team last week were playing 10 years ago, and you don't get. I know. No, it doesn't. But you don't get that connection unless that's happened. And we've, you know, commented it must be so much easier for those new girls to come in when there's that base there. And you talk about, you know, the team plan. You can see that today. You can make changes, several changes, and it doesn't affect it, and you're able just to roll on with it. She's amazing, isn't she?
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. So all the best going into finals next week, taking on the Lavington Panthers. Across the fence, so
you're the surprise element, Bridge. Oh,
isn't this where the mark of finals? Bridget Casser, our Urban Greys Player of the Day. Thank you for being with us on O&M Live Netball.
Thanks, Bridge. Good job.
Last week, Brady.
Bridget Casser, just taking a moment to talk about the Sun with Tam Matthews. Thank you all for tuning in today. Looking ahead to next week, we'll be broadcasting all A-grade O&M netball final games, commencing across the fence at the WJ Finlay Oval, where the Wangaratta Rovers will host Yarrawonga, taking on Lavington. Sunday's elimination final taking place at Albury Sports Ground. Wangaratta Magpies will want to really work on and use the footage, I think, of today to really make some adjustments to that game, whether they take on Albury or North Albury. As always, a big thank you to all of our sponsors and to you, Tam Matthews. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
We will. Enjoy this sunshine, and let's get ready for finals. It's game on, isn't it?
This has been the Yarrawonga Pigeons defeating the Wangaratta Magpies. Tune in to 1566 3&E or head to our Facebook page to watch the Facebook live stream of the ladder leaders, Wangaratta Magpies, playing host to second place Yarrawonga Pigeons here at the Norm Minns Oval. Only one game separates these two teams for the minor premiership. My name is Reed Olahenty. This is O&M Live Netball, proudly brought to you by McRae Motors. This is O&M Live, and on O&M Live, you won't miss a thing.
How many subscriptions do you have? One for entertainment? And one for news? And meditation? One for sport? And one for music? Whatever you're into, you can now manage select paid subscriptions in one place and save up to 10% with Optus SubHub. Discover what's trending and save by bundling them all together. Streamline your subscriptions with Optus SubHub. It starts with yes.
Looking for somewhere great to eat? Check out Social Dining and Bar. And right now, you can get a seafood basket served with chips, salad and tartare sauce from just $18. Come and be part of it all at Social Dining and Bar at the SSNA.
GoTafe is hiring, and we want you on our team. Flexibility, professional development, generous remuneration and a staff wellbeing program are just a few of the great benefits we offer. If you have a passion for your skill or qualification and you're looking for real work-life balance, then GoTafe is the place for you.
GoTafe is leading,
inspiring,
hands-on,
flexible, fabulous.
We have dozens of trainer positions and corporate roles open right now. Get in touch today.
The new Nissan Navara has landed at McRae Nissan with a tougher, more rugged design, Nissan intelligent mobility, advanced off-road capabilities, and a host of on-road refinement. Test drive one today at McRae Nissan.
R18 Insurance and Risk, your local insurance advisor, able to tailor insurance programs to support your business.
And we're proud to support our local community.
or injury can stop you from living life to the fullest, Albury-Wodonga Private Hospital specialises in advanced orthopaedic services and offers a full range of care from diagnosis to surgery and rehabilitation. Get back to the life you love with our support.
.0% alcohol. This changes everything.
Rewrite the rules. Carlton Zero.
At 2AY, we're your home of news, talk, sport, and music.
We're community focused, passionate about our region and what makes it great.
We bring you the very latest news that matters, from breaking stories in your backyard to headlines and hot topics from around the country and around the world.
And on weekends, we live and breathe local sport and bring you exclusive live coverage.
1494 2AY. We're your local.